So there you go at light speed. I've and for me anyway, it's kind of light speeds because I normally take a lot of time to explain some of those things that we had in the slides there. And at this point, hopefully, it's given you an idea of the process, the overarching process that you go through, the journey that you go through. And there's two options. One is you can take some of the stuff that I've shared here and, try and recreate it yourself, or maybe this is not right for you. And if it's not right for you, then definitely don't join us. Or the other option is an invitation for you to join us on the Inspire process. As you know, I'm sure it's not a surprise because this session is an Inspire session or info session on the Inspire program. So an invitation, if you'd like to join us, is this. And it's pretty simple. The Inspire process, here's what it entails. So I know, Jane, you were asking about this question about the structure. I'll come to in a minute. The dates are for the next cohort. It starts October 21st for 6 weekends, right up to November 26th, which should be a Sunday. The sessions are Saturday and Sunday. Saturday morning, normally we do the yoga meditation classes, which I teach live. Saturday afternoon, it might be a check-in session or a lecture. As I say, when I say lecture, it's not school or uni. It's normally me teaching something, or our other co-facilitator, Chantel, will be teaching some stuff, on the topics of anatomy, of just the knowledge areas, yoga philosophy, the energetics of yoga, postural work, alignment work, right? Just all the knowledge, the facts that you need to learn as you're going through the process. Sunday morning, a lot of times we do like a practical session. It varies. It could be practice teach sessions. It could be kind of feedback sessions. It's applying some of the knowledge. And then Sunday afternoon, depending on what we've done on the weekend so far, it might be a check-in. Maybe there's stuff that has come up during the weekend, and you need to talk through it, clear through it. Might do some inner work session, might do some healings. So a combination of those as we go through. And while there's a very clearly set out structure for the program, the way I like to teach is also quite organic in that it's very customized for the group that is there, and for whoever, whoever is coming into the program, because I'm looking at every step of the way, what's the next thing and the best thing now to bring for you and the group, so that you get the result that you come into the program for. Part one is the foundation of part two. Part two is a 9-day intensive. The dates we've got so far is middle of January, 20th to the 28th, or kind of towards the end of Jan. It says 23 there. It's actually 2024 because we can't go back in time. So I need to tell my team that I can't travel time backwards, at least not in this physical plane. And they're in person. It starts on a Saturday, it finishes on a Sunday. The sessions are normally, morning till about, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And most of the time we do it in the UK. They're held in one of our graduate studios in Nottingham. It's a beautiful studio. I've taught all over the world, and it's actually my favorite studio in the world. And it's just like this fairy tale setting on a canal itself, by a castle, and in a great listed building. It's a beautiful place, and accommodation, everything there's really affordable. So actually, and a side note, that food and accommodation is not included in the cost of the program, but I'll actually come to that in a second. So travel, food, and accommodation. Here's some of the things that are covered in the sessions, and I think this was your question, Jane, before you asked. What are some of the things that we cover in the online parts of the 6 weekends? So obviously the yoga meditation classes to put into practice, the theory sessions. So when you're learning about, let's say, how to feel into your body, for you, Jane, you were talking about, right, like your injury in your back, how to actually take what you learn about the injury and then go and apply it into your practice. So those practice sessions are there to come in and practice with the group and also the community. That's Saturday mornings. It's just part of the weekend. Normally on the Saturday afternoon, there's a teaching session. So even though the next bullet point says practice teach session on Zoom, sometimes we'll do that on a Sunday morning. Sometimes we'll do that, in other times on the weekend. Sometimes, we'll definitely start straight from weekend one. So, we'll just start at kind of really small, quick, easy sessions. And then, slowly we'll build up as we go through the weekends and the weeks so that you get more and more comfortable and confident in your teaching. And even if you don't want to teach, you're not coming in for the yoga qualification. Normally, I recommend people do the exercises because it helps build your confidence. It helps, speak in front of people. Allows you to be seen. Right? There's like elements there that will really support you and help you. Teaching in the online community classes, we normally set up an online community class during the week. It's normally like a Wednesday or Thursday. The group gets to vote for that. And you can invite, friends to come in and join in on those sessions. Normally, people in our community come and join in. So you get some live experience of teaching a full class or a section of the class with your buddies in the group. There's weekly check-in sessions. That's where the transformation and healing work is done. That normally happens either on the Saturday afternoon or the Sunday afternoon, depending on the group and where you're at. And then weekly lessons and discussion. So as I said before, topics of discussion, topics of knowledge, like knowledge areas, the nadis, the chakras, the yoga alignments, the postural work, anatomy, breath work, the energetics, yoga philosophy, all of that, right? That's all there. And that's all covered in sometimes in the live sessions. Other times there's stuff on your portal. So you also have a portal with pre-recorded information that's there. And sometimes, I'll say go check out those sessions and then we'll come and have a discussion or do an exercise around it on the weekends. Just a word about the portal as well. The portal is available during the program, and after the program finishes, it'll be available for another 6 months, with all the recordings and stuff like that. So that's yours to have for that duration. Part 2 of the program. So part 1 is built in such a way that layer by layer, it sets up this really solid foundation to lead you into part 2, our 9-day intensive, which is in person. And the reason I have the in-person part is because there's some parts that I just, from experience, feel that it'll be doing you a disservice if we didn't do it in person. Teaching yoga, still, I maintain there's parts of it that need to be done in person, and also the yoga practice. So we take part 1 and we go way deeper in the teachings, whether it's the physical postural practice, the alignment, working with injuries. I know Jane like to talk about back injury, how to modify, how to adjust. I'm just jumping on some of the bullet points there. You'll also learn the foundations, the beginnings of putting your hands on your students and adjusting them and teaching. Teaching practice, so practice teach sessions, which are very custom made. I would say they're unique exercises. I won't give away what they are, but it's exercises that I've created for our training over the years, something that I've kind of stumbled over the years, and then subsequently evolved in our training. I know they're very unique for us because I created them. So if you've seen them anywhere else, then I'll take the compliment if people have copied us. But you get live feedback, some, from me as a facilitator, some from your group. So, it's all there to help build you up as this amazing yoga teacher, and, human being, right? Stepping into your world. There's also a session towards the end of the 9 days, normally it's on the Friday, where we do almost a full day on business. And the business session is not just for yoga business. It can be an online business. It can be a business of any sort. So it's like the structures, the foundations of what it takes to build, a successful following in a business, so that you can have the kind of lifestyle that you want. And, it's not bad to have abundance. As a matter of fact, when we're abundant, then we're not worried about abundance. Therefore, we can actually serve and truly serve and live our purpose here in this lifetime. There's also the in-person yoga classes and practice teach sessions. And as I said before, the hands-on adjustment. And then the most powerful part, I would say, of the 9-day intensive really is the story work, right? We do a lot of deep story work in many different formats, from talking sessions to exercises, which I'm not going to say what they are because they're very unique to our program. But they're truly life transforming. And those are not just my words. That's people from, who've done our programs before. I like to think in pictures. So I got my team to actually put together a little diagram of some of the stuff that we cover in part 1 and part 2, in case you're wondering what is it, what do we do? So the why exercise, we start, from day 1, and then this is the program. This is about the only program where we go from the why are you here to why are you here in this lifetime, and exploring your bigger purpose here in this lifetime. We cover all the knowledge areas, so the Yoga Sutras, the Chakras and Nadi, anatomy session, We start the inner work with the sutras, the yoga practice, and putting it into practice, the stuff that you're learning into your body, into your breath, into your life, breath work. There's also some B to the G's Bhagavad Gita. We actually do that also in some of it in part 1. And then when you come to part 2, you deepen your yoga practice in person. We do all the in-person stuff, the stuff that is difficult to do online. We do some really powerful exercises with being with others, being seen. So being with your people around you in your class, right? Your students, allowing yourself to be seen, allow your presence to be felt in the room as well, and to how to support and hold space for people. The deep work, the story work is done here in part 2 in the 9-day intensive. KKB is code for one of the unique exercises that we do, the teaching exercises. B to the G is the Bhagavad Gita. B12, I think my team just made a mistake there and just copied something over, so that actually means nothing. I think that was the business session that they're talking about there. And then if you're going for the qualifications, there is 2 exams, written and practical exam, at the end of the 9-day intensive, which helps set you up and get you ready for the big bad world out there. So that's it. That's what it entails in kind of a high level. If you know me, I don't go super detailed. So if you do have any questions around that, do pop them into the chat.